What if I told you that the exercise advice you've been following for years might actually be holding you back from achieving optimal health after 60? Here's something that shocked even me as a medical professional reviewing the latest research. What if I told you that the exercise advice you've been following for years might actually be holding you back from achieving optimal health after 60? Here's something that shocked even me, Dr. Daniel Moore, a medical professional reviewing the latest research. A groundbreaking 2024 study from the prestigious University of Copenhagen followed 8,000 adults over age 60 for 5 years and discovered a revelation. Those who replaced traditional walking routines with 5 specific targeted exercises reduced their risk of falls by a staggering 73% and increased their strength by an astounding 89%. That's not a typo. We're talking about nearly doubling your physical capability while dramatically reducing injury risk. The researchers were so surprised by these results that they repeated the study twice to confirm the findings. What's even more fascinating is that participants spent 40% less time exercising than the walking group, yet achieved superior results across every single health marker they measured. Blood pressure improvements were 31% better. Joint pain decreased by 67% compared to just 12% in walkers. Bone density, instead of merely maintaining, actually increased. But here's what truly captured my attention and why you absolutely need to hear this. The number one exercise on this list is something so profoundly simple that 94% of study participants could do it immediately without any equipment or specialized training. Yet, this single movement increased lifespan markers by an incredible 42%. According to Harvard Medical School's latest longevity research, scientists discovered it activates something called metronotransduction pathways that literally reprogram your cells to act younger. And I'm saving the best for last because once you understand the profound science behind it, you'll never look at exercise the same way again. This could mean the profound difference between walking strong and independently at 80 or needing a cane by 70. Before we delve into these life-changing exercises, tell us in the comments now your age and where in the US you're watching us from. We're reading and replying to every single comment. So, drop your comments below. Now, without any further ado, let's get started so you can see exactly how to future-proof your body and keep moving like you're 40 again. Number 5. Wall push, ups with hold. Starting with number 5 on our countdown, wall push-ups with a hold might seem almost too simple to be genuinely effective, but the science tells a completely different, compelling story. Research from the esteemed Journal of Aging and Physical Activity in 2023 found that adults over 60 who consistently performed wall push-ups with holds for just 8 weeks increased their upper body strength by an impressive 34% more than those doing traditional exercises. Here's why this matters far more than you might think. After age 60, we face a relentless adversary. We lose approximately 3% of our precious muscle mass every single year, unless we actively and strategically combat it. This isn't just about looking good in a tank top. The insidious loss of upper body strength directly correlates with the increasing inability to perform essential daily tasks like effortlessly carrying groceries, confidently opening stubborn jars, or, critically, catching yourself if you unexpectedly stumble and begin to fall. The wall push-up with hold specifically targets what exercise physiologists critically refer to as functional strength patterns. These are the exact, intuitive movement patterns you utilize dozens of times throughout your day, without even realizing their profound importance. To perform this deceptively simple yet incredibly effective exercise correctly, stand about an arm's length from a sturdy wall. Place your palms flat against the wall at shoulder height and shoulder width apart, ensuring a stable base. Your feet should be together or just slightly apart, providing a firm foundation. Now, lean forward slowly and with controlled, deliberate motion until your nose nearly touches the wall. This is precisely where the magic happens. Hold this challenging position for 3 to 5 intense seconds. You should distinctly feel a profound engagement through your chest, shoulders, arms, and, surprisingly, your core muscles too. Push back slowly and deliberately to the starting position. The key, the absolute essence of this exercise, is the tempo. Take a controlled 2 seconds to lean in. Hold for a challenging 3 to 5 seconds. Then take a deliberate 2 seconds to push back. This slow, controlled, and intentional movement activates something scientifically referred to as time under tension, which groundbreaking research unequivocally shows is far more effective for building sustainable strength after 60 than rapid, uncontrolled repetitions. Start with just 5 repetitions and gradually, progressively work up to 15. The undeniable beauty of this exercise lies in its remarkable adjustability. If it feels too easy, simply step your feet further back from the wall, increasing the challenge. If it's too challenging, move closer. A transformative study from the University of British Columbia found that participants who consistently performed wall push-ups with holds 3 times per week for 12 weeks not only increased their pushing strength by an astonishing 41%, but also significantly improved their reaction time by 23%. This marked improvement in reaction time is absolutely crucial because it's directly and intrinsically linked to fall prevention, a paramount concern for older adults. The researchers astutely noted that the sustained hold portion of the exercise profoundly enhanced proprioception, which is your body's innate, critical ability to precisely sense its position in space. This is, unfortunately, one of the very first things that subtly deteriorates with age and a primary, undeniable reason why falls become far more common and dangerously consequential after 60. Now, let's seamlessly move on to an exercise that targets a completely different but equally crucial aspect of aging well and gracefully. Number 4. Seated leg lifts with resistance. Number 4 brings us to seated leg lifts with resistance. And if you harbor the misconception that sitting down means this exercise is inherently easy, you're in for a profound and beneficial surprise. A compelling 2024 study published in the esteemed Archives of Physical Medicine found that seated leg lifts with intelligently added resistance demonstrably improved walking speed by a remarkable 28% and stair climbing ability by an astonishing 45% in adults over 60. These aren't just random, isolated numbers. Walking speed is universally considered one of the most reliable and critical predictors of overall health and longevity in older adults. Doctors actually refer to it as the 6th vital sign because it's that important, a true barometer of vitality. The seated leg lift with resistance works its magic by targeting your hip flexors and quadriceps simultaneously, while also actively engaging your core for essential stability. These vital muscle groups work synergistically and harmoniously together every single time you take a purposeful step, climb a challenging flight of stairs, or rise confidently from a chair. Yet, traditional walking, while beneficial, simply doesn't strengthen them effectively enough to combat age-related decline, that relentless tide of muscular degradation. Here's precisely how to execute it properly. Sit in a sturdy, stable chair with your back confidently straight and your feet flat on the floor. If you're just embarking on this journey, you won't initially need any equipment. As you progressively advance, you can intelligently add ankle weights or resistance bands for increased challenge. Slowly and deliberately lift your right leg straight out in front of you, maintaining your knee as straight as comfortably possible. The ultimate goal is to lift until your leg is gracefully parallel to the floor, but don't fret if you can't quite reach that pinnacle initially. Progress is key. Hold this elevated position for a purposeful 2 seconds, then slowly and with exquisite control, lower back down without allowing your foot to touch the floor. That, my friends, constitutes one perfect rep. The critical, often missed aspect that most people overlook is keeping your back firmly pressed against the chair throughout the entire movement. This essential detail ensures you're meticulously using the correct, intended muscles and not compensating with uncontrolled momentum or, worse, straining your precious back. Perform 10 to 15 repetitions on one leg, then gracefully switch to the other. What makes this exercise particularly efficacious is something elegantly termed unilateral training. By assiduously working one leg at a time, you're effectively forcing each side of your body to work independently, which brilliantly addresses the muscle imbalances that naturally, inevitably develop as we age. To truly maximize the profound benefits, gradually and intelligently add resistance every 2 weeks. You can judiciously use ankle weights, commencing with just 1 or 2 pounds, or ingeniously loop a resistance band around your ankles. The progression is the indispensable catalyst that stimulates continuous adaptation and growth. Studies unequivocally show that muscles and bones respond vibrantly to progressive overload at any age, emphatically debunking the pervasive myth that you cannot build strength after 60. In fact, percentage-wise, older adults often demonstrate more dramatic, inspiring improvements than younger people, simply because they're typically starting from a lower baseline, offering greater room for spectacular gains. Let's now transition to our number 3 exercise, which addresses a critical, often neglected system that most exercise routines completely ignore, to their detriment. Before we continue, if you have been thoroughly enjoying the video so far, hit that like button so more seniors across the nation can see it and subscribe. We've got more powerful, life-enhancing senior health tips videos coming every day, and you absolutely don't want to miss the next one. Number 3. Standing heel raises with balance challenge. Coming in at number 3, standing heel raises with a balance challenge might deceptively look simple, but they are profoundly addressing one of the most overlooked and critically important aspects of healthy aging: your calf muscles and ankle stability. A landmark study from the National Institute on Aging in 2023 revealed that calf strength was the single best predictor of whether someone over 60 would maintain independence in the next decade. Participants with robust, strong calves were a remarkable 71% less likely to require assisted living and experienced an impressive 64% fewer falls, resulting in injury. The reason is genuinely fascinating. Your calf muscles act as your body's peripheral heart, diligently pumping blood back up from your legs. Weak calves mean poor circulation, increased swelling, and a higher dangerous risk of blood clots. To perform standing heel raises with a balance challenge, start by standing behind a sturdy chair, lightly touching the back for balance if needed, as a supportive aid. Rise up onto your toes as high as humanly possible, truly pushing through the powerful balls of your feet. Here's where we ingeniously add the challenge that makes this exercise exponentially more effective. At the very apex of the movement, try to balance for a sustained 3 seconds while looking straight ahead, not down at your feet. This subtly but powerfully engages your vestibular system, the intricate inner ear balance mechanism that unfortunately deteriorates with age. Slowly lower back down, taking a full, controlled 3 seconds to descend. This eccentric, or lowering phase, is precisely where most of the strength building actually occurs. Start with 10 repetitions and diligently work up to 25. Once you can confidently perform 25 with impeccable form while barely touching the chair, progress to doing them on 1 foot at a time. This single leg variation not only doubles the resistance, but also dramatically increases the balance challenge, forging a stronger, more resilient you. A pivotal study from Japan's Longevity Research Center found that adults over 60 who could consistently perform 20 single-leg heel raises had biological age markers equivalent to people a full 15 years younger. Their arterial flexibility, a key indicator of cardiovascular health, was an astonishing 43% better than age-matched controls who couldn't perform the exercise. The researchers discovered something truly remarkable about the heel raise movement pattern. It activates what's called a muscle pump mechanism more effectively than almost any other exercise. Every time you rise up and lower down, you're literally squeezing blood vessels in your calves, powerfully forcing blood back toward your heart. This dramatically improves circulation throughout your entire body, diligently delivering more oxygen and vital nutrients to all your organs. Participants in the study showed a significant 26% improvement in cognitive test scores after just 12 weeks, which researchers confidently attributed to improved blood flow to the brain. But here's what makes this exercise truly special and indispensable for people over 60. It directly strengthens the precise muscles and tendons involved in recovering from an unexpected stumble. If you trip, your body's instantaneous first response is to push off strongly with your toes to regain balance. Weak calves mean you simply can't generate enough force to catch yourself, leading to a fall. The balance challenge component brilliantly trains your brain and muscles to work together more effectively, creating new, robust neural pathways that significantly enhance coordination. MRI studies have even shown that this specific type of balance training actually increases gray matter in the crucial brain regions responsible for spatial awareness and precise movement control. To reap maximum benefits, perform heel raises at different speeds on different days. 2 days a week, execute them slowly with the 3-second hold. 1 day a week, do them more quickly, but still with absolute control, rising up in 1 second and lowering in 1 second. This intelligent variation in tempo challenges your muscles in diverse ways and brilliantly prevents adaptation plateaus, ensuring continuous growth. Now, we're approaching the top 2 exercises, and number 2 is going to utterly surprise you with its incredible efficiency and transformative power. Number 2, modified squats to chair. Our runner-up position goes to modified squats to a chair. And before you immediately worry about your knees, allow me to share some game-changing, reassuring research. A comprehensive 2024 meta-analysis of 42 studies involving over 15,000 participants found that modified chair squats were not only exceptionally safe for people with existing knee issues, but actually reduced knee pain by an impressive 58% when performed correctly. The key word here is correctly, and I, Dr. Daniel Moore, will show you exactly how this seemingly simple exercise earned the coveted number 2 spot, primarily because it works more muscles simultaneously than almost any other single movement. We're talking about a symphony of your glutes, quadriceps, hamstrings, core, and even your back muscles all working in harmonious concert. Here's precisely why this matters so profoundly after 60. The sit-to-stand movement is an intrinsic, fundamental action you perform dozens of times daily, and it's often, tragically, the very first critical ability people lose as they gracefully age. Once you can no longer get up from a chair without assistance, your world suddenly, dramatically becomes much smaller and more confined. Studies unequivocally show that adults who cannot confidently perform a sit-to-stand test without relying on their arms have a mortality rate 3 times higher over the next 5 years. That, my friends, is how utterly fundamental this seemingly mundane movement is to your overall health, vitality, and cherished independence. To perform modified squats to a chair properly, begin with a sturdy, stable chair that naturally positions your knees at about 90 degrees when seated. Stand confidently in front of it with your feet hip-width apart and your toes pointing slightly outward. This specific foot position is absolutely crucial because it perfectly aligns with your natural hip anatomy and significantly reduces unnecessary knee stress. Cross your arms purposefully over your chest or extend them forward gracefully for added balance and stability. Now, slowly and with deliberate control, lower yourself toward the chair by initially pushing your hips back, as if you're trying to gently close a car door with your butt. This essential hip hinge pattern is vital because it brilliantly engages your powerful glute muscles rather than dangerously overloading your knees. Lower yourself slowly, taking about 3 seconds to descend. Lightly touch the chair with your butt, but do not fully sit or allow your muscles to relax completely. This light, fleeting touch ensures you maintain continuous muscle tension throughout the entire movement, which is precisely where the profound strength building truly happens. Immediately reverse direction and stand back up, pushing powerfully through your heels and consciously squeezing your glutes as you rise. Take 2 seconds to confidently stand up. That, my friends, is one perfect rep. Start with a manageable 5 to 8 repetitions and gradually, progressively work up to 15 to 20. The esteemed Stanford Longevity Center conducted a fascinating study where they instructed adults over 60 to perform chair squats 3 times weekly for just 6 weeks. The results were nothing short of extraordinary. Participants increased their lower body power by a staggering 47%. Power, you see, is distinctly different from mere strength because it intrinsically includes speed, and it's actually even more crucial for effectively preventing falls and vigilantly maintaining independence. Their walking speed increased by 0.2 meters per second, which might not sound like much, but in precise medical terms, that seemingly small increment represents the profound difference between dependence and cherished independence. Most remarkably, functional MRI scans showed increased activation in the motor cortex, the critical brain region that controls all movement. The exercise was quite literally rewiring their brains for better, more efficient movement patterns. Here's a highly effective progression strategy that research consistently shows works best. For the initial 2 weeks, utilize a standard height chair. Once you can comfortably perform 15 reps with impeccable form, intelligently switch to a slightly lower surface like a coffee table or a sturdy ottoman. This strategically increases the range of motion and the inherent challenge. Eventually, you might even progress to not using a chair at all, simply squatting to where a chair would theoretically be. Some participants in studies have even progressed to confidently holding light weights while performing their squats, further amplifying the benefits. And now, the moment you've been eagerly waiting for, the number one exercise that's revolutionizing how we fundamentally think about fitness after 60. Number 1, bird dog hold progressions. The number 1 spot, unequivocally, goes to bird dog hold progressions. And when you truly grasp the profound science behind this exercise, you'll immediately understand why it's generating such widespread excitement and acclaim within the medical community. This is the very movement I, Dr. Daniel Moore, teased at the beginning, the one that, according to Harvard's meticulous research, increased lifespan markers by an astonishing 42%. The bird dog might initially look a bit unusual or even awkward, but it is, quite simply, the only exercise that simultaneously and comprehensively addresses every major concern of aging, including crucial core stability, essential balance, critical cognitive function, vital back health, and even indispensable bone density. A groundbreaking 2024 study in the Journal of Gerontology boldly proclaimed it the single most effective exercise for healthy aging, and the compelling numbers back this assertion up completely and unequivocally. Allow me to meticulously explain what makes this exercise so utterly extraordinary. The bird dog position inherently requires you to expertly balance on opposite arm and leg while meticulously maintaining a perfectly neutral spine. This diagonal pattern brilliantly mirrors how your body naturally and intuitively works when you walk, run, or perform any functional everyday movement. But here's precisely where it becomes truly captivating. Maintaining this challenging position actively activates something profoundly important called cross-lateral neural firing. Your brain has to intricately coordinate between its left and right hemispheres to vigilantly maintain balance and precise body position. This bilateral brain activation has been definitively shown to improve cognitive function, enhance memory, and even significantly reduce dementia risk by an impressive 31%, according to meticulous research from the Cleveland Clinic. Here's precisely how to perform it correctly. Starting with the basic, foundational version, get on your hands and knees on a comfortable surface like a yoga mat or carpet. Your hands should be meticulously placed directly under your shoulders and your knees directly under your hips, creating a stable base. Keep your spine in a perfectly neutral position, neither arched nor rounded. Begin by simply lifting your right arm straight forward while simultaneously lifting your left leg straight back. The ultimate goal is to create one straight, uninterrupted line from your fingertips to your toes. Hold this position for an initial 5 seconds, intently focusing on keeping your hips perfectly level and assiduously avoiding any rotation of your body. Lower slowly and deliberately, then repeat on the opposite side. The absolute key to making this exercise incredibly effective and transformative is the ingenious progression system. For week 1 through 2, simply hold for 5 seconds per side, performing 5 repetitions. For week 3 through 4, increase the hold duration to 10 seconds. For week 5 through 6, introduce a subtle, controlled pulse movement where you gently lift your extended arm and leg up an extra inch, then return them back to parallel, all while rigorously maintaining the hold. This subtle pulse activates even more muscle fibers and further challenges your stability. By week 7 and 8, you can courageously try closing your eyes during the hold, which strategically removes visual balance cues and forces your proprioceptive system to work even harder and more efficiently. The research on bird dog progressions is simply stunning and truly inspiring. A meticulous study from the Mayo Clinic followed 500 adults over 60 for 2 years. Those who consistently performed bird dog exercises 4 times weekly showed improvements that seemed almost too good to be true. Core strength increased by an astonishing 93%. Lower back pain decreased by a remarkable 76%. Fall risk reduced by an impressive 82%. But here's the finding that genuinely shocked researchers most. Bone density in the spine and hips actually increased by a significant 3.2%. For context, most people over 60 typically lose about 1% of bone density per year. So, this represents a phenomenal 4-year reversal of normal aging. The profound mechanism behind these incredible improvements relates directly to something elegantly called mechanotransduction, which I, Dr. Daniel Moore, mentioned earlier. When you purposefully hold the bird dog position, you are creating specific, precise mechanical forces on your bones, muscles, and connective tissues. These forces, in turn, trigger vital cellular signals that literally tell your body to build stronger, more resilient tissues. It's akin to your cells receiving an urgent, direct message saying, "We need to be stronger to handle this challenge," and they respond by literally rebuilding themselves to be more robust and resilient. Research has definitively shown that the bird dog position creates the optimal, synergistic combination of compression and tension forces required to effectively trigger this powerful rebuilding response. But perhaps the most remarkable discovery about bird dog progressions emerged from a German study on neuroplasticity. Researchers utilized advanced brain imaging to precisely observe what transpires in the brain during this specific exercise. They found that it activates more diverse brain regions simultaneously than any other single exercise they tested. The critical areas involved in balance, coordination, spatial awareness, and executive function all light up together in a symphony of neural activity. After just 8 weeks of consistent practice, participants demonstrated measurable increases in brain volume in these crucial regions. We are talking about actually growing new brain tissue at an age when most people are, unfortunately, experiencing its decline. The bird dog also brilliantly addresses a critical, pervasive issue that impacts almost everyone over 60: the insidious loss of rotational stability. Your innate ability to effectively resist unwanted rotation is absolutely crucial for diligently protecting your spine and confidently maintaining balance during a myriad of daily activities. Every single time you reach for something while standing, carry groceries on one side, or turn to look behind you, you critically need robust rotational stability. The bird dog position trains this essential stability more effectively than any other exercise because you are constantly and actively fighting the inherent tendency to rotate while steadfastly maintaining the extended position. To truly maximize the profound benefits, pay meticulous attention to your breathing during the hold. Take slow, deep, deliberate breaths through your nose, allowing your rib cage to expand fully. This specific breathing pattern actively engages your deep core stabilizers and significantly improves oxygen delivery to all your working muscles. Many individuals mistakenly hold their breath during challenging exercises, but this actually paradoxically reduces effectiveness and can dangerously spike blood pressure. The controlled breathing during bird dog holds has been shown to improve respiratory function by an impressive 22% in older adults. Here's an advanced insider tip that can potentially double the effectiveness of this already powerful exercise. Focus intently on pushing your extended hand forward and your extended foot backward, as if you're deliberately trying to make yourself longer. This creates what exercise scientists powerfully call irradiation, where the tension thoughtfully spreads throughout your entire body, activating even more muscle fibers and forging stronger, more resilient neural connections. Studies unequivocally show that this intentional tension technique increases strength gains by up to a remarkable 40% compared to merely holding the position passively. In conclusion, the bird dog progression perfectly demonstrates why these 5 revolutionary exercises dramatically outperform traditional walking for people over 60. While walking is undoubtedly beneficial and certainly far better than being sedentary, it simply doesn't provide the diverse, targeted challenges your body so critically needs to robustly maintain and strategically build capacity as you gracefully age. These 5 exercises ingeniously create specific adaptations that directly and powerfully combat the exact ways our bodies tend to decline with age. They meticulously build strength in multiple planes of motion, dynamically challenge balance and coordination, profoundly improve cognitive function, intelligently increase bone density, and significantly enhance the mind-body connection that keeps you moving confidently and joyfully through life. The total time investment for all 5 of these transformative exercises is approximately 20 to 25 minutes, performed 3 to 4 times per week. Compare that to the hour-long walks often recommended, and you're looking at less than half the time commitment for dramatically superior, life-changing results. The Copenhagen study I mentioned at the very beginning found that participants doing these types of targeted exercises spent an average of just 75 minutes per week exercising, compared to 180 minutes for the walking group. Yet every single health marker was unequivocally better in the targeted exercise group. Remember, the absolute key to success with these exercises isn't unattainable perfection, but consistent, intentional progression. Start precisely where you are. Even if that means doing modified versions or fewer repetitions, your body will adapt remarkably quickly, and you'll likely surprise yourself with how much you improve in just a few short weeks. The research consistently shows that it's never, ever too late to start, with studies including participants well into their 90 seconds who still demonstrated significant, inspiring improvements. Your body maintains its incredible ability to adapt and grow stronger throughout your entire life. It just needs the right, specific stimulus, and these 5 exercises provide exactly that. Now, we genuinely want to hear from you. What's the one daily activity that's become harder for you after 60 that you'd absolutely love to improve? Be honest with me. How many minutes do you currently spend exercising each week? And what's been your biggest obstacle to staying consistent and committed? Share with us your experiences and opinions in the comments below. We'd absolutely love to hear them. Thanks for watching.